A word may taste like a sour apple, a sound may look like a vibrant purple, and a song or musical note may actually be a shape or have a unique texture. This is synesthesia, a condition in which an everyday stimuli induces a secondary, unrelated association or sensation.
According to research, approximately 4% of the population has at least one of the estimated 50 types of synesthesia. Age of onset depends on two factors. It could be at birth due to its hereditary components, or it could be a sudden onset due to acquired trauma, such as stroke, temporal lobe epilepsy, a closed head trauma, or drugs such as LSD. Synesthesia is genetically inherited on the X chromosome. That explains why women have this condition more than men. Women are XX, men are XY. Therefore, that is why the ratio of women to men is 3-1.
It has been shown that people who have conditions such as autism, OCD, and anxiety are more likely to experience synesthesia. Since an occupational therapist is likely to work with these populations that are often adversely affected by multiple stimuli, it is important for our profession to be familiar with this condition. Synesthesia at first may seem unrealistic, but it presents real barriers to those who experience its effects.
The most common type is known as grapheme color synesthesia. In this type, the person sees letters and numbers as a particular color. In another common form, spatial form synesthesia, the person perceives ordinal sequences such as times, dates, or numbers as occupying actual physical space.
The most prevalent type of non-visual synesthesia is mirror touch synesthesia, in which a person experiences another's sensation of touch or pain as if it were happening to them. For example, an individual watching a pinprick to someone else's finger would feel the pain as if their own finger was being pricked. Observing the touch triggers the same tactile sensation in the individual who has synesthesia.
Chromesthesia, or sound-to-color synesthesia, is also relatively common. Julia, a person who has sound-to-color synesthesia, was kind enough to give us an inside look into her experience.
Hey. Hey. My name is Julia. I probably have had it for a while because I've always, I love music. I've been in choir all my life. I remember the first time was when, so I went to Stanford and we were practicing for a prayer service. So we were singing, and it was my freshman year of college, and we sang this song called Crucem Tuam. There was just one chord that we hit, and it I was overwhelmed by the color blue. Here it is. I didn't immediately tell people because I was that's good. It kind of sounds weird, but eventually I started expressing my experiences, and people were wait, that's that's not something that I have, it's not normal. And I was oh, cool, good to know. It's frustrating, and I sound so petty, but I mean it's difficult to understand, I guess. I was in Israel and I was walking through Old City to go to the Western Wall, and there were so many voices and so much music, and everything was all of it was combined with all these people, and I got overwhelmed there. So it's always in choir. For an entire semester we would be singing songs, and I would just get so frustrated because I'm we are not blending, we are not blending, we are not blending. To the right of me, there was a girl, and she sang, and her voice was a bright red square. Okay. And on the left of me, the girl, she there wasn't a shape to it, but she was a smoky gray voice. Me being in the middle, I had to reconcile the entire semester. I have bright, warm colors on one side, and then dark, cool colors on the other side. It fell on me because I was the only one that could hear both people, and so they weren't blending to me. It was so frustrating to the point where I went up to my choir director and I was listen, I don't know if you'll understand this, but the colors aren't matching up. I was her color does not match her color, and I don't know which color to choose to blend to. So I'm just frustrated when I'm talking to him.
Advocating is often the first step in removing barriers. Julia self-advocated through conversation with her choir teacher, and we can advocate for our future clients by educating others about synesthesia. Just as sensory input can overwhelm a person with autism, sensory input in a person with synesthesia can produce secondary associations, i.e. colors coming from sound, that can be overwhelming. A solution to this barrier would be to work with our clients to be familiar with their triggers and have coping strategies to minimize their effects. For example, if Julia had a pair of headphones to help reduce auditory stimuli while walking through Old Town, her overall experience could have been more enjoyable.
But it's like a